welcome to SnapShot, the show that's all about taking better photos, taking better video. I'm your host, Denis, and welcome to our second season, 2016. Hey, this year we're going to take a little bit of a different twist. We're going to talk a lot more about different gear. We're going to, you guys sent us some suggestions on what you'd like to see, and one of them was shooting with flash with high-speed sync, so we're going to do an episode on that. We're going to do a few more nature episodes. We're going to do some episodes on macro photography outside, all kinds of different stuff. We're going to try to do some sports photography. And for those of you who've been following me, I've been doing a lot of birding lately, and I've been doing some plane spotting as well. And so we're going to do some episodes on that. First off, I guess I have to say I'm really sad to say goodbye to this lens. Inside here is the Tamron 150-600. It was sent back to me after our initial review, and I'll put the link of that review up on the in the show notes down below. I really enjoyed playing with this lens. I've really enjoyed shooting with it, but hey, it's got to go back. Contrary to popular belief, I don't get these things to keep forever. There's no freebies here. They're loaned to me by the manufacturers, and I really appreciate that we can share with you guys. We took all kinds of great photos on our long-term review, and I can tell you that this is a lens that I'm going to miss, and I'm hopefully, we're going to put it in the wish list to purchase for the show. Pop up some pictures here. If you guys have been following me on Facebook or on Flickr, you know that I've been shooting, and on Flickr I always put in all the parameters, how I took the shot, what was the settings, what were the camera settings, some of the conditions that were around at the time. So I invite you to check those out. Again, the links to Facebook and the links to the Flickr account are down below in the show notes. Hey, while we're at it, take a moment here to subscribe. That way you'll be able to get a notice on when we put out a new episode. So down below, just hit the little subscribe button and you'll get a notice. And you're also helping us out as well, because the more subscribers we have, the more I know the show is making everybody happy. And we know that we're on the right track. And don't forget, leave us a comment down below too. Tell us what you like and what you don't like. We need to know that info. So just a sneak peek at some of the gear that we're going to be reviewing coming up in episodes very shortly. We have from Cinovate the Doozy slider. This is the version 3. Very lightweight. And so for those of you doing video, you'll want to know all about this slider. And it's kind of exciting. We'll talk about it very shortly. That's coming up. Also, a very neat product from CamCaddy, this little bracket here. You mount your camera on here and it gives you a handle so that you can carry your camera either this way facing out or this way here. And it's got a cheese plate that you can mount onto your tripod, so that gives you a little bit more options. And then this bracket here has got all kinds of accessories, and this one here is a rail. And on the rail, you can mount your audio recorder, a video light, a microphone, all kinds of stuff. And you get a bunch of these little clips. Actually, you get a couple of rails in the kit. You get these clips, which just mount on the rail here, so you can mount all kinds of accessories. Back here, you can mount your video monitor. And so it just gives you the versatility. If you're shooting with the DSLR, this is a must-have. Plus, you get a handy carrying handle. At the bottom here, this bracket is fully adjustable, so you can balance your camera on here. So anything from a GoPro to a smartphone to a full-fledged DSLR or even a small camcorder. You'll be happy that you get to have this, because it makes your shooting a lot more stable and it gives you a lot of versatility. Also from CamCaddy, and it's included in that kit, or you can buy it separately, is a shoulder mount. And I've really enjoyed working with this so far, and we're going to do a full review on that very soon. You're going to see it here on SnapShot. But the shoulder mount is a really cool thing. It's very comfortable, sits nicely. It comes with a strap as well for stability, and it allows you to get a lot more stability on your camera, so no more shakiness from the hand. So check that out. Coming on an episode real soon. Let's see, what else have we got coming up here? We've got from Rokinon, we've got 2 lenses that were sent to us. This is one of them here. These are cine lenses, so they have that spline gear on here, so you can pull focus and pull iris with them. Same as a regular photo lens, but we'll be doing a full review on these, and they're really nice build quality and very inexpensive. They're manual focus, but for video, that's what you really want. And they do photography really well too. So this one here is a 24 millimeter, and it's a T1.5. So T1.5 time value, and so that'd be equivalent to an f1.4 in photography terms. We'll be talking about those. Good for photos, good for video. Awesome little lens. Can't wait to review that for you guys. All right, let me put that down. The next thing that came into the studio lately is this reflector kit. Now I'm not going to open it up here. We'll pop up a picture on the screen. It's a square reflector kit. It's a 6-in-1, and that was provided to us from Alzo, and we'll put a link to Alzo's store down below. You can check that out. This is a great reflector, and you're going to see it a lot in the upcoming episodes. We're going to be using that regularly, and you'll see it used in today's episode as well. In today's episode, we're going to talk about this guy here. This is the new 1,000-watt location lighting kit from Savage, and what's really nice about this one is it's LED. And LED is really cool because when we're doing photography, you can use continuous lighting, and what you see is what you get, so it's very, very easy to snap a shot. And also, if you're using a modern DSLR, you've got video capability, and so why not have one light that can do both video and photography? We're going to talk about that in a moment. So that's our lineup, some of the things that are coming up this year. So let's get right into it. Let's check out the new LED light from Savage. So here's the new LED light from Savage. This is called the Cooled 50. It's a 50-watt light, and in LED numbers, 50 watts, basically you can go 10 times the factor. It's equivalent to a 500-watt tungsten light. Now, as you can imagine, a 500-watt tungsten light gets very, very hot. Makes your talent uncomfortable in front of it. If you're shooting food, your food melts right in front of you. And it takes an awful lot of energy to fire that up. With LED, 50 watts is the equivalent. So there's virtually no heat. Now there is some heat that's generated by the LED and by the capacitors inside, and that's dispersed. But that's it. Nothing. It's less heat than a 10-watt light bulb would be. So it's pretty amazing at how efficient these things are. Now, this package from Savage comes with 2 lights. You get 2 light stands. You can't really see the light stands very well in this tight shot here, but you're going to see them in the studio shortly. It comes with the bowl reflector, the 7-inch bowl reflector. Now this is a Bowen's S mount, which is really neat because, let me just unscrew that. There we go, that pops off. It also comes with a protective cover that you can put on when you are traveling. The Bowen's S mount is really cool because there's tons and tons of accessories out there for them. You can get a speed ring, so you can put any softbox on here that you'd like. Of course, the bowl reflector, you can get different types of bowl reflectors, narrow beam reflectors, wide beam reflectors. You can get beauty dishes, all kinds of different things, and they're all going to fit on here really, really easily. Now, with the kit, you also get these barn doors. Now, I'm not going to install them. You're going to see them on the next part of the video, but they mount in these 3 little holes right here. And that allows you to flag the light. And so there are 2 barn doors with each light. So you get 4 barn doors, 2 reflectors. You also get a couple of umbrellas. These are 32-inch umbrellas, and these are the reversible type. Now we'll pop that open here. So the reversible type, meaning that we've got white inside with a silver backing, and you can also remove, as you're going to see in the video, you can remove the silver backing, and you've got the shoot through for very massive or a lot of diffusion, and so you get the softest possible light. As I mentioned earlier, these lights are really cool. By the way, the umbrella just mounts up on top here. The nice thing about LED or continuous lighting is what you see is what you get, and you can not only do photography with it, but you can do video as well. So that's a real plus. Now, for the techies, on the front here, we have a glass diffuser, and we'll pop that off, and you can see the LED chip there. It's a very high CRI value at 91, so it's it's good quality. And this price point here is very, very good because it's a breakthrough price point. Now I'm going to address the North American clients. If you're in Canada, you can look for the product at Henry's. The link is down below. If you're in the US, there's a number of retailers, Adorama, B&H, there's a few others as well. We'll put some links, but Savage, and we'll also put a link to Savage Corporation as well. So you can go in, and if you're not from North America, you can go check their dealers list and hopefully find where you can buy it in a store near you. The construction is well thought out. I think it's well thought out. The umbrella mounts up on top through the bull reflector. There's a little slot right here that lets you pop your umbrella through and in through the mount, tighten it down. So that's very, very easy to access. There's a couple of cold shoes up on top here. So if you wanted to combine continuous light with maybe flash photography, you can attach your speed lights, or a speed light and maybe a radio transmitter or a receiver, and you could use the reflector, the umbrella, and everything else to give your a little boost. Maybe if you're an event photographer and you're doing video and photography, you can give your photos maybe a little bit more pop. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but the option is there. It's right here. On the back, very, very simple controls. You have an on-off switch and you have a dimmer control. So you have 4 positions of light intensity. Now I didn't measure them out. Again, being LED, being continuous lighting, you can see exactly what you're getting. You can read the light meter in your camera, and you're going to see exactly what you get is what you get. Now, I may point out one thing, that when I'm shooting with continuous light, I always err on the underexposed side. That way I can just build up my exposure and get the look that I want. So, because sometimes the light meter is overcompensating because it's a dark scene. So just be aware of that. And it's very, very easy to do. After a few shots, you're going to get very, very comfortable with it. All right. In the construction part, you'll notice that this box down below here, now this just for storage, this just slides out and it unplugs. This is your power supply, also referred to by some as the ballast. And the reason that this is separate is to keep the heat away from the heat of the transformer away from the LED. It just makes things a lot easier. Now inside here, there's some great construction techniques. You can actually see it. The body of the light itself is perforated, so it lets a lot of air through. There's a fan in there, and there's big cooling fins that cool down the LED. You're going to have an estimated life of 50,000 hours on this LED, so you don't have to worry about changing bulbs. In the old tungsten days, 25 hours, your bulb started to degenerate. You weren't getting the full color spectrum. And at about 50 hours, it was time to spend $20 or so, or maybe even a little bit more on a new bulb. With LED, you don't have to worry about it. 50,000 hours is the rated lifespan. Probably you're going to get more. And of course, you're using an awful lot less energy while doing it as well. Now, I mentioned there's a fan in here. It is a little bit noisy, but certainly not noisy enough that if your microphone's more than 4 or 5 feet away from it, you're not going to hear it. So, I mean, I wouldn't mount my microphone on the hot shoe there because you are going to pick up some buzz from the microphone or from the fan. But we found no noise at all when we were shooting out in the field. As soon as we got our microphone 4 or 5 feet away, or 1.5 meters to 2 meters, the noise was gone. It's fairly minute. It's a very low noise, low decibels. All right, likes and dislikes. I like it. It's just a great little light. The price point is fantastic. It comes in a kit. I'm not showing it here, but there's also a carrying bag. The carrying bag is, it takes a little getting used to. There's all kinds of Velcro straps in there, which is fantastic because you know your stuff's secure, but it just takes a long time to put it in. If I only had to point out one dislike, I'd say that the stand is very, very light. I would like to see a heavier stand. But hey, this is going to get you started. And once you have your investment and you get started, you know, you're being very, very cautious with it. And you know, save up a couple of bucks and go out and buy a new stand, heavier duty, and maybe you'll feel better about it. Maybe get the light a little higher. That's one thing that I would say is probably the downside of this particular kit. The stand, very, very light. I'd like to see it a little beefier, but hey, not a big deal. It's certainly not a deal breaker. The umbrella, this is a 32-inch. Personally, I like them a little bit bigger. I like the 42-inch or 43-inch, but Again, this is not a deal breaker. This gets you started, and you can do an awful lot with this umbrella. And you know, you can upgrade to another umbrella a little bit later on, or maybe you're going to go to a softbox. But everything you need to get started is in this kit, and you're going to enjoy it. So that's it in a nutshell. Very nice light, easy to get, good on power, and easy to shoot with because, again, WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get. So let's go in the big studio and we'll put it through its paces and see what it's like.
So the beauty of continuous lighting is what you see is what you get. And we can use this in videography, we can use it in photography, and it's actually a lot easier. Just remember that the lights, our eyes see things a little bit brighter, and if you've got your camera in matrix mode, you're going to have to step down 2 or 3 stops. Take some shots, try it out. If you don't like it, stop down some more. Remember, pixels are free, so it doesn't matter how many frames you take. So here we've got one light, one LED light turned up to its maximum power, and in this particular light, the Savage 50 is a 50 watt, but it's equivalent to 500 watts tungsten. I've got a second light set up in behind. I'm going to get Paul to turn it on. And you're going to notice what's going to happen here is you've got all kinds of separation. Now Kate is not just a floating head in a sea of black, she's actually a full person. So we see the rim around her hair, we see the hat starting to take form, and we can see her shoulders taking form. If Paul backs that light up a little bit, you're going to notice, again, you see it right away, you can see where the shadows are going. And Paul, if you feather that light, and what I mean by feathering it is just turning it towards the background, you'll see that the light totally changes around Kate. So bring it back in this way here, towards me, and there you have it. That's a simple shot. Now we can modify that light just by adding an umbrella. I know I've stepped out of frame, but just bear with me here for a second. We're going to pop an umbrella in on our light. That's going to make Kate pretty dark right now until I turn this around. But the minute I turn this around, I now soften my light by quite a bit. And what I mean by that, we don't have those hard features anymore. So I can bring my light right up nice and close, and now I've got the light combing across. And I'm actually becoming where my backup light is becoming brighter. So I could actually dial that one down. There are 4 adjustments, 4 power levels. So I can bring that one down a little bit more. So now I'm not fighting for as much attention. Again, readjust the stops on my camera, and then I've got a full light. So that'll soften that shadow. You can come in a little closer, Malcolm. Looks good, fills in the shadow real nice. So we're going to switch it up a little bit here. We're going to take this umbrella out, and I'm going to switch it for the same umbrella, but this one has got the diffuser material removed, or the reflective material, I should say, removed. And we'll pop that on. Now it's a shoot-through umbrella. We have to be mindful that we don't get some reflection in the camera. I'm going to turn that around this way. Aim it in at Kate. And this time we have a much softer look. And we've got that light wrapping around. And turn it up to its maximum level. I now have a wraparound happening here. You can see the shadows are completely different over here. Now, taking it a step further and bringing in my Alzo reflector panel, I can bring that in, and you can see that the shadows just on this side, and we can actually start seeing some detail in her ear, as opposed to here fully dark, and here having some detail coming in. So we'll show you a shot of that up close, and you can see exactly what's going on. Cool. That's pretty evil. Come on in a little closer, Malcolm. Excellent. Chin up just a little bit. And a little bit more towards, looking towards Paul. Yeah, I like that. Sweet. Okay, so we got that shot. So here's a 2-light setup. I mean, these LEDs are wonderful for cinematic stuff as well. We've got a classic 50s, 40s style movie. We can turn this black and white, have a whole lot of fun. We've got Malcolm being lit by the main light. The light is raked, it's actually combing across, so it's hitting Kate as well. A little bit softer for her. And then on the other side, we've got a little bit of a harder light coming across the background as a separation, lighting up Kate's shoulders. It's giving us some separation on the hat and lighting Malcolm's shoulder as well, separating him from the background. Now, if I just turn this light off, you'll notice that it's a completely different look. We have a totally different look, and all of a sudden it's one-dimensional. By adding the second light, it gives us that second dimension. So, you know, play around with it. And the beauty of this type of lighting, the LED lighting, or any continuous lighting itself, is what you see is what you get. It's that easy.
Well, that's our first show of the season. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed putting it together for you. Again, a big thanks to all of those who helped me out to make this show possible, to our model, to our camera people. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Thanks very much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I know I mentioned that at the beginning, but I can't stress it enough. We need your viewership in order to make the show successful. Check us out on Facebook. There you'll find out some news on what's coming on the next shows, a little bit of behind the scenes, a little bit of fun. Stay in the conversation. And don't forget to leave us your comments down below if you like the show. Give us a thumbs up. If you don't like it, hey, give us a thumb down, but tell us why you don't like it. Tell us what you'd like to see improved so we can make the show better for you. So with that, remember, get out there, shoot lots. Pixels are free. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.